LeBron, Steph, or both of them, have been in every finals since 2011. Whoa. Chris is back, but Acho, is the finals without LeBron and Steph good for the NBA?
First off, can we acknowledge that graphic basically would have existed without Steph Curry? Like, I don't know why we needed to add Steph to there. Steph
Whoa, that's even deep. Wait, no, 2019.
LeBron.
2019.
Yes, it basically would have existed without Steph Curry. But I like Steph, so shout out to my dog.
Take it back.
I think it's great to have a final.
Steph did win 3 of them, though.
Calm down. No, watch your mouth, okay? Watch your mouth.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's facts.
I like that is, we're finally getting a finals without LeBron and without Steph, because if you want to groom a next generation of superstar, you got to see the superstar. Kobe Bryant became Kobe Bryant because we saw Kobe Bryant, and he won chips alongside Shaquille O'Neal. Dwayne Wade became Dwayne Wade because we saw Dwayne Wade, and he won chips also alongside Shaquille O'Neal and then LeBron James. The only way Devin Booker is going to cement himself as a bona fide face of the league, not a dude who dropped 70 points in a loss, but a bona fide face of the league, is if we see Devin Booker winning a chip alongside the likes of Chris Paul. The only way Giannis is going to bring and elevate himself and the Bucks to those great heights as a small franchise is if we see them on this ultra-national stage and win a chip. So it's great that we get to bring in the next generation while we still have the older generation of LeBron and of Steph, because now we get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I'm with you, Acho, and I'm going to go even a little step further. I would love to see LeBron still playing, maybe going for his 5th ring. I'd love to see Steph, had he been able to drag those Warriors through the West, or even if Clay were healthy. We'd love to see that. But the fact of the matter is this. LeBron, in particular, hasn't, driven ratings through the roof. Mm-hmm. 2 of the 3 lowest rated finals ever were LeBron. 2007, when he faced the San Antonio Spurs. Now, you could say, well, it was Tim Duncan and the Spurs. Nobody wanted to see them. But LeBron was 22 years old, had just gone ballistic, scoring 48 points in a playoff game against Detroit, the Bad Boys Part 2, Rasheed, Chauncey, all those guys. So I would have thought, and this is the guy that everybody was saying was the next Michael Jordan, maybe better than Michael Jordan, and the ratings were terrible. And then you go to the bubble last year. I get it, the bubble were unique circumstances, but still, the ratings were terrible for LeBron against Jimmy Butler in Miami. So this year, for various reasons, the ratings have been great. They've jumped 60-some-odd% over what they were last year. And you've got all these new faces, to your point, Acho. And the fact of the matter is, as much as I miss all of these older stars, particularly LeBron and Steph, the games have been great. The drama has been great. Not knowing who's going to win has been great. And seeing Devin Booker, Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, these young stars emerge has been great. So it's good for the game.
I'm with you, CB. I am with you, brother. Look, I don't care if it's LeBron or Steph in the finals. You know why? Because the NBA doesn't care as well. They have not drove ratings as you would expect them to in terms of per average series ratings. It's funny because before they were all in the finals since 2011, at least what we saw in Jason's tweet, there was other players in the finals. And we were excited about seeing those players, too. So if the finals were good before them, the finals are going to be good after them as well. Takes me to a conversation that coaches always have. And I remember Jack Del Rio one time had this conversation in training camp. We had a disruptive offensive lineman, I think a backup, because that's who you usually make examples of, a backup. So 6'7", 340 pounds, some dude who ain't starting just yet. Bring your ass to the front of the room. So his big old butt, boom, making earthquakes as he go down the stairs. He stands there. And he said, I want you right now on the whiteboard, which is as long as the room, draw the shield. And the shield, NFL shield, he drew it, whatever it is, this big. And then he said, I want everybody in this room to pay attention to this. See that big old dude over there? And you see that shield there? Don't you ever confuse and think that that dude is bigger than that shield. And I want every player to know this, including LeBron, including Steph. Ain't none of y'all bigger than the game, bro. I mean, I think you know that, but I hope you understand you don't. None of the top 10 rated series in the finals since 1980, none of the top 10 have Steph Curry or LeBron James in them. None. And to CB's point, the worst, lowest rated ever does have LeBron in it. Lakers beat the Heat. And if you also want to see two other ones of the bottom 10, it has the Heat and it has the Warriors. There you go, LeBron. There you go, Steph. So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Right now, those guys being there at the end of the race is not necessarily driving all of us to watch the end of that race, especially last year when they were in the bubble. You know what it was? A worldwide pandemic. You know what that meant? Everybody was forced to be at home. You know what that meant? We were all forced to watch something, and nobody wanted to watch that.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a bit baffled that LeBron and Steph haven't driven ratings more. You know, LeBron is popular and polarizing. And look, polarizing, some love you, some hate you, but usually that means they'll watch you. Look at a Floyd Mayweather or something like that. And it hasn't translated for LeBron. What I would guess when you compared Michael Jordan and the way he drove ratings to LeBron is that Jordan's game was so much prettier. Right? His game was so much more graceful. It was just beautiful to watch him play the game of basketball. Now, LeBron, in some people's eyes, is just as effective, but he does it a different way, and it's not as fun to watch. Now, Steph, on the other hand, I would think is closer to Jordan in terms of smaller player, shooting threes, change the game, great ball handling. I would have thought people really wanted to tune in to watch Steph. So I'm a bit baffled by why they haven't driven ratings.
Let's do this then.
But the fact is they haven't.
Let's have this philosophical conversation. I've had it with Marcellus before, I think outside of a dressing room. I'm not going to blame this on LeBron and Steph. Because what we know is this. Right now, TV distractions, the market is more saturated than ever with content. Sel, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was you who were having this conversation with me. And I think it was you who was telling me there will never be another Michael Jackson. And there will never be another Michael Jackson, not necessarily because of talent alone. Let me look at my dog Marcellus, please, along with CB. Not necessarily because of talent alone, but the fact of the matter is, we just didn't see Michael Jackson. And there weren't a lot of distractors. It was Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jordan. There wasn't a lot of competition. There wasn't Twitter. There wasn't Instagram. There weren't vloggers. There weren't YouTubers. There wasn't Netflix. There wasn't Hulu. There weren't streaming. It was just you saw your primetime entertainers, your primetime sports. You didn't even get to see Taco Tuesdays and what they were doing. If you saw Michael Jackson, it was just like you saw God because you only ever see Michael Jackson on the tube. I don't know if it's that LeBron and Steph just aren't that captivating, or LeBron and Steph have to compete with more competition than ever as far as eyeball watchers and as far as viewers. We might be careful what we wish for, because we go and look back at the end of this ratings and wonder just how many people are tuned into the Bucks and the Suns. So I just throw that morsel of knowledge in there because, Broussard, I don't want to blame something on LeBron and Steph when, if we look back, I don't know, maybe sheer coincidence, when was Twitter founded? I believe 2007. When did LeBron play the Spurs? I believe 2007. I'm not going to say that Twitter is the exact reason why LeBron didn't have the, but I will say, when did Blockbuster start to fold to Netflix? I believe it was 2006, 2007. When did LeBron and the Cavs play the Spurs? I believe it was 2007. I just think some of these are also just happenstance as opposed to it's on LeBron and it's on Steph.
I think that's fair in that that's certainly a part of it. There's no denying that. However, when we talk about Michael Jordan, we are talking about, look, cable television existed. It wasn't obviously like today, but we're not talking about going back to the 70s and 80s maybe where there were 3 channels, you know, where you had to watch ABC, NBA, or CBS. So I get what you're saying, and I do think that's a part of it, but that doesn't account for all of it. And so, and look, the viewership shares, which is the percentage of television sets that are on that are viewing the NBA, are higher than they've been this playoffs since 2002, 2003. That's incredible to me. Now, granted, a lot of people are watching on their phones and stuff today, But still, the percentage of TVs that are on that are watching NBA basketball in these playoffs have been higher than ever since 2003. That's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot. It's also saying a lot that Michael Jordan is just different, bro. Michael Jordan is the top 4 NBA series finals, 5 of the top 6, and number 9 of the top 10. Now, to Acho's point, tremendous point. I made it to him outside of his dressing room a long time ago. He echoed it. It's real. We're not as enamored with our stars as we once were, in part because we used to only see them perform and then jump into a limo and then perform again. Like, that was it. We didn't have all of the personality that colored the entire picture. Fewer channels as well. I give you all of that. But if you look at the bottom 10 rated finals, they don't have the same disparity. Top 10 rated finals, they stop after 1998. Bottom 10, you go back to 1980, 1981, and even last year. So it covers the entire range in terms of our viewing experience, which kind of undermines what we were talking about at the dressing room. Something's going on, but I know what if it's LeBron or Steph going on, not everybody's interested.